I feel like once you are aware that you can't do it all and that you don't know how to do it all, even though you are in a leadership position, that is how we grow. If you feel entitled, if you feel like, well, I got this, I'm the best, I don't need to learn anything because I know what I'm doing, right? That is the worst mindset. Yeah, so let's talk about the immediate past president role. It's a very rough place to be in, and tying it into the self-awareness is when I stepped into the past president role, it was hard for me because I had been president for 2 years, and I know I did a good job, and I was building that chapter up, and I was like, okay, how do I let go? How do I hand this off, right? So are you feeling that way, Valeria?
So yes and no. Part of me is like, I have worked so hard, and I've put my heart and soul into leading this chapter and growing the chapter and trying to get more participation in the chapter. And we have accomplished some great things over these past 2 years. And the person who's stepping into my shoes, thankfully, she's been in the organization for 16 years. And she's served on the board as everything except for president. And she said, well, Valeria, if she was like, you've done a great job. So if you're going to be my immediate past president, I will step up and take on the challenge. And so I'm really excited to relinquish the reins, but I'm also just nervous just because it's like your baby. You've cared for it and nurtured it for so long, and now you have to trust that the next person will do just as well or greater than you. So, and I believe she will. So,
how are you feeling about this?
Well, it's a compliment to you that she will be president if you are the immediate past president. So that means she trusts you as a mentor and a friend and a sister. So that's great. I think I feel similar. I am a manager and I trust my team to do what they're supposed to do. So I think it shows through with NAWIC where I can delegate and I don't need to control everything. I want people to bring their ideas and then we talk about it. So I think I do a good job of that, and it is like your baby because you spend 2 years just like building and growing in the foundation of it and your own, personality and how you are authentically. So it's a little bit of a challenge for me to just be like, oh, whoa, I don't have all of these responsibilities anymore. But it's also so exciting that I get to move into a role where I can, be consultative and help people where they need it or help them problem solve or, just have some of that awareness of what the chapter needs and the members need.
And I love that you talk about awareness, but I want to ask Dotty, how was it for you when you became immediate past president of your chapter?
Well, I have a far different experience. So it's been a number of years since I was president, and again, it was a 2-year term. I got to be president during COVID.
Oh.
And so it was literally, we had a chapter meeting scheduled on that Thursday night that the world closed down.
Yeah.
And so talk about having to, and I'm so tired of the word pivot, gave me whiplash. So I really, if I'm being completely honest, really struggled. It was tough. It was very tough because you're trying to do the best for your chapter. You're trying to lead your chapter. You're trying to, we have directives that came down from national about what we could and could not do. So it was a very challenging time for me, and I thought I did my best, and I'm still proud of what we accomplished during that time. Probably not as much had it been a normal situation. So I think I had what I call lead fatigue by the time we got through it, and I was past president. So if I had it to do over again, absolutely, I would look for things to do differently. But that's how you learn.
Exactly.
And what did she say today? What did Rita say earlier? Progress, not perfection.
Yes.
And so that's kind of the way I look back on it. Is we made progress. It wasn't perfect, but what we did was all we could do. So.
Well, for me, it was the opposite. I didn't have lead fatigue. I still wanted to lead, and I was like, okay, I need to do something with my time, right? So I'm not kidding. I signed up to be chair of 5 committees in my chapter.
Oh my God!
And now I'm like, I shouldn't have done that.
That is a lot. What committee of 1? The chair of 1 is a lot.
Yes. Because that was, but then I became self-aware, and I was like, okay, I need to let other people handle this, right? So pivoting into that topic, I feel like once you are aware that you can't do it all and that you don't know how to do it all, even though you are in a leadership position, that is how we grow. If you feel entitled, if you feel like, well, I got this, I'm the best, I don't need to learn anything because I know what I'm doing, right? That is the worst mindset.
And I don't think it's that we can't do it all, it's that we don't have to. We have amazing people around us and we don't have to do it all. So we could do it, but then we're gonna be burnt out, and that's not good for anybody either.
And I've learned the hard way, during my 2-year stint as president, I learned the hard way that people are really willing to help and they're ready to help, but they're waiting for you to give them directive. So I would say 75% of my board was waiting for a directive. I was asking questions and being more democratic, but I learned with my board I had to delegate more and just assign tasks. When I began to do that, then the board began to, and the chapter began to really flourish because people recognized that I trusted them, and I trusted them to carry out the task and to do it, and they felt empowered. And so that, for me, that was a growth point as a leader, to just be able to step back, to delegate, step back, and support them in whatever they needed to do.
Somebody, as I was getting ready to be installed this morning for region director, somebody, actually Lolly Mitchell, who is a past national president of NAWIC, and who I think is a fantastic leader out of the Pacific Northwest region. She's amazing. She gave me a really good piece of advice. She said, delegate even the smallest task. Even if you feel or think it's silly or tiny or you can just get it done, do it, because it adds up. And it also makes sure that you are building your tribe and the people you can trust. And I thought that was like the best advice I could get. What's some good advice you've gotten, Dotty?
Breathe.
I mean.
Yeah, just step back and take a breath. I tend to, get worked up sometimes in the minutia of things, and just, I gotta go, and just to step back, enjoy the moment, take a breath. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
What about you? What's some good advice you've received, Valeria?
Over my career or just in general?
In general, for leadership positions.
So, interesting. So, before I took this position at this particular company, I was working for another company, and I was struggling to get ahead. And most of us are very ambitious people, and we're like, "What's the next thing? What are we doing? I've mastered this. It's time for the next. It's time for the next." Long story short, one of the administrative assistants said to me, she said, "Valeria, I love you like a daughter, but I have to say something to you that you're probably not gonna like." And I said, "Okay, what's that?" She said, "You are spending a lot of your time with the admin staff, and that's great. And I know that they're your friends and you love them, and that's wonderful." She was like, "But you keep saying that you want to get ahead." She said, "You have to change your environment, and you have to be around the people that you are trying to, you have to be a part of the circle that you're trying to get into." And so she said, "You have to break out of your comfort zone and really put yourself out there and let people know that that's what you want. The people that have the positions to give, you have to talk to them, be around them, learn them, so that you can, be seen." And that was hard for me, because I'm like, but I mean, I don't want them to think that I don't want to be around them. And when I talked to my friends, the admin staff, they were like, "Listen, this is work. This is business. This is not personal. We know that you love us. We know that you respect us. Go and be great and do everything that you are destined to do. You don't have to feel like you owe us something, because we are all working to grow and be everything that we can be." So that was some of the best advice that I got, to not be afraid to change my circle and be where I wanted to be.
That is very good advice. And also, I want to get to you in a second, but also nobody's going to advocate for yourself more than you.
That
your
is the
development.
truth. That is the truth.
You can have friends, you can have people supporting you, but at the end of the day, you have to sell yourself, advocate for yourself, and be in the right room.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. So what is some good advice you've received, Liv?
I think as a manager of people too, I think having hard conversations fast and with compassion is super important, because there's no gray area, there's no wishy-washy, there's no letting things go and letting things fester or resentments. If you just have the conversation, you rip the Band-Aid off, but with love,
Yeah.
it will make everything way easier and way better. And
Absolutely.
if there's tweaks that need to be made, that's fine, but there should never be a moment where someone doesn't know where they stand with you or with a situation. And I think effective communication is just paramount to most things we do in life.
Absolutely.